Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I wanted to come on here and do a quick chat about um, manifesting the body you want. Um, I know it's sometimes hard to lose weight and to, we talk about, see the body that you want and, imagine it or like, but you look in the mirror all the time, right? You put your clothes on, you see where your imperfections are all the time. So sometimes it's hard to look past that and not be really, really hard on yourself. And my guides kind of pointed this out to me we were just at the beach earlier this week on Tuesday, but my guides pointed this out to me. Hello, hello, welcome. On I don't know the last time we were at the beach, and it's something I started noticing too. Hi, Allie. As a mom, we tend to go, oh, I don't want to get in a bathing suit, but I want to get in a bathing suit because I want to have fun with my kids and I want them to, have confidence and all of that. But then, like at a point, you start wearing like mom suits and all that. So anyway, like the last time they sort of pointed this out to me, and I really started looking at it this time. So this time when we were at the beach on Tuesday, I started looking at everybody. And not like in a weird, creepy gawker way, just noticing. And quite literally, hi Debbie, no one has the same body. There's not anybody on the beach that looks identical to any other body. So we go, oh, well, we're pear shaped, you're this shape or that shape, but nobody's blub blub lumpy lumps are ever in the same spot. Even if you take really, really physically fit people and you line them all up, nobody looks exactly the same. So it's really hard for me to look at people and go, oh, when they say, oh, I don't feel good about my body. I'm like, but everybody's body is different. Like, there's no reason you should say, like, I need to look like that. You will never look like that because you will never have the identical body as that other person. So then when you're manifesting the body that you want, what are you manifesting? You want to manifest, I think, the body that is your best version of you, right? So you have to get to that idea. The other thing I thought they pointed out to me, which I thought was really interesting, even baby bodies aren't the same. Like you look at babies, there's not a baby that looks exactly like some of them have those like cute chubby rolls, the rolls that we adore when you're little and you're sort of like, yeah, I don't really want these rolls when I'm older. Um, they have those same dimples that you're trying to get rid of when you're older. But the other thing that they pointed out to me, and it sort of is interesting, and I see this also with relationships, is when you're manifesting, what you want to figure out is what are you looking for in your body? You don't want to look at somebody and go, I want her body. And here's why. There's a woman in my workout group. Her name's Mary, and she is so inspiring to me. She's 60 or 62, and she is fucking ripped. Like she is in such amazing shape. She looks amazing. And she inspires me because she works out. She gets out there and she works out and she lifts heavier weights. I mean, I'm not like I'm really crazy strong, but she lifts heavy weights. Like she's tiny. And I mean like tiny, like I'm pretty sure she's 4 or 5 inches shorter than me. Like she's a little woman, but she's strong. But I would never ever say I want her body. And here's why. Mary has 2 um, autoimmune disorders. I don't want her body. I hope that I am toned and fit and slim, but I don't want her body. And the only reason why I know that about her is because she's very open about talking about these things. Um, she inspires me because she does what she does, and I hope that when I'm at her age that I have that much chutzpah to get out there and just like stay fit and trim, and that's I still am driven to do that. Um, but I don't want her body. So I want to caution you when you look at somebody online and you think, I want their body, because you don't know if they have disordered eating issues. You don't know if they have autoimmune issues. So, and remember, if you ask, you shall receive, right? So just look at what is it that you're looking for to be the healthiest version of you, to be slim, to be trim, to be stronger, whatever it is, have more endurance, whatever it is, decide the characteristics you're looking for. Don't compare yourself to another body. Then they also wanted to talk to me about like, well, how do you, because I was like, well, how do you tell somebody to be grateful for their body when you look in the mirror and all you can see are the flaws? And they go, and I was laying there one day and they go, think about all the things that your body has done. Think about all the miles those legs have walked. And I was like, holy crap, I never even really thought about it that way. Like every day we're looking at our body and we're going, oh, it's not this, it's not that, and I'm not this strong or I'm not there yet, or but you stop being grateful, or maybe you never were grateful for all the things that it has done. Hi, Rosemary. So what you want to do is the best way to look at how to be grateful in those moments when you're like kind of like, ugh, gross, my body's not here or there. I wish I was this. Look at what you should be grateful for is how far your body has come, how many miles it's walked, how many jumped, skipped, run, climbed, whatever you do, however you move around. If you're in a wheelchair, how many miles you've rolled with your arms, whatever it is, all of the trauma, all of the heartache, all of the joy, all of the dancing, all of the everything that your body has done. Sure, it's not perfect, but it's really done that. You don't when you have a car, it's like struggling, but it has, 150,000 miles on it. And you're like, it's a total piece of crap but it's like, oh, but it really got me really, really far. You're not dead yet, is sort of what they were saying. Is like, your body is still moving. It's carried you. So be grateful for all of those miles. Be grateful for all of the illnesses that it's healed you through and it's gotten through. And you didn't get to that lack of fitness or lack of wherever you're at overnight. So it's also like as you're going through the process, don't expect it to change overnight. It's not. All of those videos that say like better abs in 14 days, listen to me. That is bullshit. Also, you look at the way that you lose weight and you get slimmer. Well, I can't tell you how many people I know. They're like, oh, the first place I lose weight is my boobs. The first place I noticed I was losing weight was in my calves. Like my calves became toned before anything else. I started noticing my muscle definition of my calves. So everybody works differently. So give yourself grace, have more gratitude as you're going through it. But the blocks they were sort of telling me is it's not like when you say like, how do I be grateful for where I'm at right now and not be down on myself because I don't see the scale change or I don't see this. It's like you have to be grateful for all of the amazing things that your body has done for you. If you look back at pictures, say, I don't know if you're old enough to do this, like, I look at pictures in my 20 from my 20s, I'm like, "Why did I think I looked terrible? I looked amazing. Why was I so hard on myself? Why was I even comparing myself to anybody else?" Because quite literally, nobody has the same body. That's where I'm talking about when I went to the beach and they were like, "Look, no one has the same body. There is not one identical body on this beach. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You shouldn't compare yourself to other people. Not one body is the same." So get out of comparing. Find gratitude for think about all of the things that your body has done, all of the miles it's run. I've grown 3 babies. I've between the 3 of my kids, my boobs that aren't huge, that are like very small, breastfed 3 children for just under 9 years total. So if your boobs aren't big enough, stop worrying about it. If you're or they're saggy or they're whatever, think about all the things that they've done. I don't know, whatever you're doing with them, but whatever you're doing with them, like find gratitude, find amazement and wonderment, all of the healing, all of the cuts and bruises and bangs and everything. Your body's healed through it all and done amazing things. Start finding gratitude and amazement for it. Start speaking kindly to it. It's really quite an amazing thing. I think I've always loved science and I've always loved the human body, and because it's just so incredibly fascinating. Um, and what was else they gonna say? Oh, and then okay, so they were talking about to me then figure out what your goals are, and then also if you think having the perfect body is going to make you happy, if you don't feel good about yourself, it's not going to make you happy. So it's also you have to find the core thing of knowing you're beautiful just as you are. You're amazing just as you are. That's where the gratitude comes in, recognizing how amazing your body is. That's when you start to shift, and that's when you start to, like, move into this, like, really graceful, amazing space for manifesting that body that you want. So, but really try and not say, "I want somebody's body like that person," or "I want this or that." Look at what do you admire about that body? But don't ask for theirs because you don't again, you don't know. Do they have a disordered eating issue? Do they have an autoimmune issue? Do they have, are they taking supplements that are not healthy for your body and creating adrenal issues? Like, you just don't know. So, what is it that you like about it? Or are they, you know, they just made me think about this, like, when people take pictures for muscle magazines and things like that, those people eat a crazy strict diet in order to drop a massive amount of body fat, and yes, they take a while to do it, but it's not something that's maintainable all the time. So think about that as too, is like, what is realistic as a without creating an eating disorder or just being angry about food all the time, right? Your body needs certain things. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, it's okay to interrupt, Allie. That's fine. This is sort of a conversation. So let's see. You said, I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't know when I'll be at your live again, but you have predicted that I'll move. And it did happen. My parents gave me an apartment they were renting. Ah, congratulations. That's lovely. Thank you for validating that here. I hope the move was safe, and I hope that you weathered this storm because I know that you're on the East Coast here. We did get quite a bit of rain. Luckily, my house is fine. We're kind of at the top of a mountain, um, and I don't know if anybody was following Twitter and they saw that the animals escaped from Turtleback Zoo, but that's literally right around the corner from my house, and they did not escape. um, oh, I'm glad, Emily. So I don't know, this is just something that's been coming up for me and I really wanted to get on, and I sort of procrastinate talking about this stuff because I'm way more comfortable talking about or doing readings. That's my comfort zone. And I'm sort of like trying to like put myself in the mental space because things kind of keep coming up for me where they're sort of talking about different ideas and ways to appreciate yourself. And I know that a lot of people have a harder time finding appreciation for the body that they're in right now, because we've spent so much time being really hard on ourselves. Um, I don't know. I think there's so many different forms of beauty. Oh, this is what another thing they were talking about. So you look at over time. Sorry, I got to talk about it while it comes to mind. You look at over time the idea of what beauty is, right? So you look at the old Renaissance pictures, and the women are very, very voluptuous, and their bodies were painted nude and everything else, and but rolls and all of that blah blah. I don't know. That was the ultimate beauty, to have curves and rolls and large breasts and all of that. And then I remember being a kid and it was like stick, 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 super, super, super skinny, 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 skinny. Like that was like sickly, cachectic lookingly thin. Like look at Kate Moss, right? No offense, Kate Moss, sorry, but too thin, too thin. Um, and you look at the medical community, it's interesting to me because, and even in Hollywood, you still see these women that are just too thin. That and oh, you shouldn't be able to see to visualize your fourth intercostal space. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You shouldn't be able to see all of those ribs. That's not healthy. That's not normal. That's too thin. It's too thin. Um, you're supposed to palpate for it, feel. So it's concerning to me when I see that and the level of pressure that casting directors and whatever put on people because it looks better on film. Fuck that noise. That's like, and then it creates this idea that we're supposed to be that skinny and that thin and that's normal. Then there was the Pamela Anderson days of, everybody's got to have big boobs because that's normal. Tiny boobs here. They fed 3 babies for just under 9 years. Like I said, I mean, they had food or whatever, but all grand total, like that's what they're supposed to do. Sorry. Like, but that's what they're supposed to do. I just think every body shape, everything can be normal and beautiful, and we need to, like, celebrate all the different shapes and forms because no one is exactly alike, and the only way you can be exactly like somebody else is carving yourself up, I think. But even then, if you're doing that and you're not working on the core of, like, appreciating where you're at and who what your body is, you're not gonna be happy once you're there. So, the other thing is all of these fad diets. Oh, then it was big boobs, and now it's not big boobs, now it's, like, strength, but it's still, like, then it's big butt, and, like, try and love your body where it's at, and the best way to do that is, like, start looking at all of the amazing things that it's done so far. Is it perfect? No, but, like, you learned how to walk. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how many muscles you have to build? And you don't think everything is, "Oh, everybody learns to walk." Well, yeah, but that's actually, like, a lot of work. You gotta build a lot of muscles to get there, so running, jumping, skipping, all of the you sit there, "I gotta get my 10,000 steps a day." Like, think about how many thousands and thousands and thousands of steps you walked over an entire lifetime. Celebrate that. That's amazing that your body can do that and do it, like, pretty well for a really long time. Um, and as far as diets, like, also stop with the fad diet shit. Stop with demonizing food and saying, like, "This is terrible." Like, yeah, processed foods aren't great for you. You shouldn't be eating them all the time, but everything in moderation, right? You shouldn't have guilt around eating and shame around eating. It creates a terrible system. It's like, try and eat healthy for most of the time. If you're really trying to, like, maintain your calories, don't go just calories. You want to look at macros so that you're getting healthy fats, proteins, and healthy, slow burning carbs. But if you have a fucking potato, eat a fucking potato. Eat the fruit. Eat, like, as this woman Beth says, eat the fruit. Eat the fruit. Um, don't demonize food. Don't feel like you have to punish yourself if you decide to have some dessert. Don't feel like you have to punish yourself if you wanna have a burger and fries. It's not about that, it shouldn't be about that. It's like, overall, if you think about all of this wonderful thing that your body has done over time, well, then you wanna treat it well because you want it to last, right? It shouldn't be about, like, a punishment system, it's like value. Once you realize how amazing it is, it's like, "Well, I should take care of it." If you put the wrong fuel in your car, I don't know, what if it's supposed to burn at 87 and you're putting 95 in, or it's supposed to burn at 95, which is like the super plus or some shit like that, and you're putting regular in, like, it's not gonna function well, and over time, it's gonna be really hard on it. So, put the right fuel for the most part in your body, treat it well, love it, respect it, because it's carrying your soul, and it's the only avatar you've got this lifetime. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents. I don't know if I hope it's helpful. It's just sort of what they were looking at. It's like, stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop wanting to be like other people. Be the best version of you and celebrate you. I hope it's helpful. And remember, you're beautiful just as you are. You're amazing. Your body is amazing. Talk to your body like it's an amazing thing because it's really pretty amazing, all of the things that happen in your body. Okay, so here's what I do for those things. Because we all get cravings, and I was like, "Well, I don't wanna, like, not ever have something sweet again," but I kinda do it as, um, my body is easily when I have a craving, my body is quickly satiated, right? So I can have it, I just don't necessarily need to eat all of it, right? Um, and instead of saying, "It's not easy," it's like, "It's easy for me to resist sugar." You can say that too, or, again, like, now when I eat certain sweet things, I'd rather like a really dark, deep, rich chocolate because that's really what I'm looking for than just like a crappy milk chocolate. I don't know. But you can do it that way. So it's like you can still have it. So you're not totally, because I was like, well, I don't want to totally cut out sweets. Like, I like, I don't want to eat them all the time, but I don't want to, like, feel like, share your fear. It's okay. Yeah, that's what we're here for. I'm just going to be doing these like maybe half hour on here and then bounce off, and I don't know. Um, Somebody else said, oh, this guy, now I can't, Kevin Powers, I think that's his name. He's just a funny comedian kind of guy I follow on Instagram, but he's like, and he's gay, he's part of the LGBTQ community, and he was really funny because he was like, now that I'm like totally comfortable with myself, I think about all of those years that I spent being afraid. And he's like, and I looked back and I was like, why was I afraid of that? Like I created this misery that I didn't have to have. I think it's valid for why he was afraid, but we create our own misery. And it's strange, right? We spend time worrying and fearing about things that are absolutely unnecessary, hating ourselves for absolutely unnecessary, crazy things, carrying shame around things that shouldn't be carried shame with. So I was a perfect figure, like beautiful now after getting this trauma again and again of medical emergency. I started ignoring myself. Okay, so I want to talk about this. Everybody always wants to go, okay, you said I want to look like I did 10 years ago. You can't look like you did 10 years ago, and here's why. You aren't who you were 10 years ago. You aren't who you were 10 years ago. What if you could look better than you did 10 years ago? I will tell you, I am better shape than ever was in my 20s. I am in better shape. I'm stronger. I'm fitter. I'm healthier than I ever was in my 20s. Why? Because I'm a different person. Because I value myself differently, because I'm more determined than I was. Um, So instead of going, I want to be who I was, like people will say, like, I just want to like after you have kids, sometimes you get like a little lost with who you are. You have these shifts, or I suppose after you leave large, big relationships and things. I want to be who I was. Why? You can't be who you were. A rock sits in the bottom of a river, and it's changed. It's changed as the water rushes by it. It's changed. It's smoothed out. It's changed. It will never be able to go back to who it was. You've had too many experiences and too many things that have changed your soul completely. So don't go back to who you were. Be the best version of who you are now. And the best version of who you are now may be a million times better than the version you were back then, your best version back then, because you've learned and you've grown. And trauma, I'm not negating it, I'm not dismissing it. It's like it sucks to go through. But it also, if you can learn from it, if you can heal from it, you become better from it too. Um, I don't have any regrets. I don't look back at my life and think, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I wish I would have. I should have done this. I should have done that, because I am who I am because of all of it. Right. And I kind of like who I am. And the parts that I didn't like, I learned to like. Right. I learned to through shifting my belief systems and my worth and all of that stuff. So I do believe listening to affirmations and doing all that work helps. But I also think shifting our perspective on how we view ourselves is really, really important too. Because it's hard to look at yourself in the mirror every day and go, well, I'm saying all of these, but I see all of this. I see all of that. That's not perfect or whatever. So they were sort of showing me, my guys were sort of like, yeah, but look at how much your body's done. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. Yeah. You make a choice when you're like, why am I such a downer? Why am I negative? You make choices at a point, and you really do have the choice to look at something and go, this fucking sucks. It's always happening to me, and victimizing yourself, or go, all right, what do I need to learn here? Like work through your emotions. I'm not saying like ignore your emotions and just go into like robot mode, because you can't do that either. Honor them, feel them, and then go, well, now what do I need to learn here? And it really is, it's a choice. Um, I don't know why I've always been fairly positive and looked for the thing. I think maybe because I had to, but it is a choice. Like, I have sat around and looked at things and felt like, kind of victimized and stuff. And then I just finally was like, I don't want to feel like shit anymore. So I need to find a better way. And I've always been that kind of person, like, okay, I'm feeling like shit. I got to find a better way, find a solution, find a better way. Okay. So you've been unwell for 11 years and bedbound, no family support. So here's the thing. Nobody outside of you can make you feel better about yourself. I know people who feel very or have very, very low self-esteem and self-esteem, and no matter how many times I say, "You're beautiful, I love you, you're great, you're wonderful," they don't receive it. They don't feel better about themselves. There's literally nothing outside. There's nothing I can do to make them feel better. They have to decide to feel better. So you're bedbound. What can you do? So you've it's not I'm not saying ignore the fact and like let's live in la la land. Like, okay, you're bedbound. Are you bedbound because of weight? Okay. So what can you do? Can you wiggle your toes? And I'm very serious. This sounds ridiculous, but can you wiggle your toes? Are you able to move your arms and hands? Because if you are, that's where you start with your gratitude. I took care of enough people who were absolutely physically incapable of doing anything for themselves. Wiggling their toes, nothing. And let me tell you, even if you had family around, it doesn't mean they're going to be good for you. It doesn't mean they're going to be supportive. It doesn't mean they're going to be loving. It doesn't mean they're going to be, wanting to be team hope. Okay. So, do you have anyone around? If you're bedbound, you have to have somebody helping you out, right? Are you there? Are you there? Your boyfriend? Okay. He's your family. Be grateful for him. I'm estranged from a lot of my family. And I am because I came from a pretty fucking toxic family. And unfortunately, the only way to create boundaries, because when I tried to set up healthier boundaries, was to completely cut them out. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. So, yeah, yeah, good for you. Good for you. Hopes that a family was emotionally abused. So, okay. So here's what you also need to do then. You need to I really like I have again, I really wanna set these affirmations up for myself, for my thing, but, Dylan James has a really nice it's called um, Limitless Manifester, Self-Concept Affirmation, something like that. It's an 8-hour thing. Listen to it at night. Start changing your core beliefs because that's about worthiness and value. That's about, I am worthy, I am kind, I am good, I am lovable. There's a lot of things that family members can put in our brains without even realizing it and not intentionally, but about value and worth, whether we're smart enough or not. That doesn't mean they have to sit around telling you you're stupid all the time. They do it in other ways. And I think a lot of the times it's not intentional. Now, there are times where it's absolutely intentional. Um, I have family members that are extremely emotionally abusive and verbally abusive. Um, I don't claim those people anymore. Why? I mean, I don't wish them ill will. Have a great life, but I don't need you to be a part of my life. Um, so you want to know that you're valuable. I felt like a piece of shit and unworthy for a long time. I am worthy. I'm valuable. I am chosen. I choose myself. I trust myself, right? You're made to, when you're in an emotionally abusive situation, especially growing up, you don't trust yourself. You don't think you're worth it. You don't think you're valuable. So I really recommend listening to his things. Listen, pick that one core one. I'm gonna let me tell you what it is because I want to tell you the right name. And it's Dylan Dylan James James. Um, he's got the nighttime things, and then I haven't listened to hers. Um, hang on just a second. I want to look at. Give me a moment. I'll find it. Um, Affirmations. I'm just going to his playlist so I can see it. Self-concept limitless manifester. You're going to listen to it for 30 days, not 21. Listen to it for 30 nights. The first like 7 to 9 nights, you're going to have really messed up dreams. You're going to be knocking it off your head. You're going to be like, oh, I can't listen to this. You might accidentally turn it off, whatever. Listen to it. Keep listening to it. Even if you have bad dreams, that means like that's called cognitive dissonance. When you have those bad dreams, it's your brain going, no, 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 no. I like my old belief systems. I like feeling like shit about myself. I don't want to change. It's too scary to change. And you're going to go, yep, yep, yep. Your higher self, your conscious self is going to say, but it's time to change because I'm not happy. It's time to change because I'm not happy. Okay. All right. So you're going to listen to it for 30 nights. Around night 17 for me, I started having weird stuff happen again. I was like, what's going on, guys? Like, I don't get this. And they were kind of like, okay, this is, and then I saw this, they gave me an image of what was going on. Basically, everything was sort of bubbling to the top. So I had to kind of go, okay, let's clear that out and let's keep going. So you're going to listen to those. You're going to change your core self concept. When you look at gratitude, I want you to look at your body sitting in your bed and look at what you can do. Okay, I can't get out of bed, but I can wiggle my toes. Can you wiggle your toes? You're going to wiggle your toes. You're going to be grateful for that. You can breathe. You can move your arms. You're going to start kind of moving and being active. Then you're going to make choices because it really is about choices. So I love myself a little. That's great. Take it. Take it. Is it because of weight that you're bedbound or do you mind me asking? I hope that's not too personal. Then make choices about what you're going to put in your body. How am I going to feed myself? What am I going to choose for my body today? Okay. And then you're not going to have feel like I need this it's not, food should become not about punishment. No physical health issues. I'm actually underweight. Okay. Then you need to eat today. You need to eat. Is that why you're bedbound or are you unable to move? Like, is it a neurological issue or is it? I'm the psychic and I should be like, really, but I'd rather have a conversation with you than just try and read you right now, if that's okay. We went to the American Dream Mall today to go to the aquarium. I, and a lot of it was closed. A lot of the stores were closed because of the weather, and like they had a lot of roof issues with and it was just a lot of energy. Like I got in the car and I told my kid, I was like, everything is shot now. I need to. Whoop. I was like, I need to like. So I don't really want to read you right now, if that's okay. So make choices about what you eat. Then maybe you need to eat more nutrient dense foods. Maybe you need to like just start having a better relationship with your body. Swelling in your stomach, colon, uterus, throat with causes issues. So you can't eat, and I have other issues. Okay, so you're going to look at then. I want you to look at another way to look at your body is think of every single cell as like a member of the universe of hope, right? Your one entire universe or one entire solar system, whatever you want to call it. And every single cell in your body is a member of it. And I want you to start talking to your cells individually, encouraging them, loving them, speaking to them kindly, speaking to them with gratitude. There is a quantum physics belief called the string theory, which says the string is the smallest, teeniest, tiniest part of your cells. And they respond to positive and negative energy, much like, I don't know if you've ever watched those videos where they show water molecules and how they change with uh, positive energy and negative energy. I don't know exactly where it is, but I've seen it before. Plants respond to positive and negative energy. So what I want you to do is talk to your body like your thoughts are the broadcasting news of your universe of hope. And you need to broadcast out encouragement and love and gratitude. So every morning when you wake up, gratitude that you made it through another day, gratitude that you're waking up to a brand new day, gratitude for the ability to absorb things, the ability to, encourage it and encourage with, healing. Your body can heal itself. There's something else, I can't think of what it's called. And I can't think of the doc I can see his face. I'm really good at remembering faces for the most part, not so good with names. Um, Someone help me out what it's called. Oh, epigenetics. Epigenetics. Read about epigenetics. I think that's what it is. Because that talks about how your body can heal itself. There's this book I just read by a little while ago. Yeah, the power of epigenetics and thoughts and what we think we become. Um, I see this a lot energetically in clients where so when I do a private reading, I scan your whole body and I'll feel physical stuff going on. I'll also feel energetic stuff going on. And I'll be like, "Oh, I feel like this." And they're like, "Nope, nope, nope." And then inevitably they'll call me within a week or 2 and be like, "Oh, I was sick with that," or "My tooth, had an issue, like exactly the tooth you were talking about, where it was, blah, blah, blah." A dear friend of mine, I said, "I think your mom has congestive heart failure." She goes, "No, no, no, she has a cardiologist," and 8 months later, she was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I have seen people who have and I say this because I've seen people who have when I feel like energetic issues in certain, um, chakras. I see that over time that if they don't heal that, they end up developing physical. So if they have dis-ease in their chakra, they'll end up developing physical disease in their chakra. So like your stomach is about that's your solar plexus chakra. That's to me how you relate to the world, how the world relates to you and your self-esteem. How you relate to the world, how the world relates to you and your self-esteem. So if you were given the belief systems that you weren't valuable, you weren't good enough, that's all your self-esteem. Not lovable, all of that. That's all right there. That's your heart chakra. That's here. So start healing those belief systems. That's why I think that these affirmations would really help you. I feel like you'll start feeling physically better. And I know that sounds really strange, but this is my belief. I'm not saying don't do your Western medicine and don't see the doctors and don't do all that. I'm not saying that, but on a spiritual level, start focusing on this stuff. Then you've got your uterus. So that's like about your root, your core, root stuff, your connection to the world. When I used to be stressed at a young age, I'd lose my appetite, and over time it manifested into problems. Okay. So what I want you to do is do these affirmations, do these 30 nights of after, and I say 30 nights because 21 is great, but 30 is better, right? Love yourself, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself through the process. You didn't get these belief systems overnight. It was a constant reminder over and over and over and over. Okay. It was a constant reminder over and over. So when you're relearning belief systems, when you're trying to get into your subconscious, where it's sort of like when you play an instrument, when you see people on stage and you're like, I could never sit there and play and sing at the same time. Well, they've replayed that piece of music over and over and over and over to where it's literally like their fingers just do exactly what they need to do. They're not thinking about where their fingers need to be on the, strings of the guitar and the chords and all of that stuff. They're not thinking about it because they're just doing it over and over and over. So I don't think that you're consciously thinking, I'm a terrible human being, blah, 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 though you may be, but you have 70,000 thoughts a day. You're thinking about a lot of stuff. And if you have underlying stuff programmed in there, you need to be gentle with yourself as you're reprogramming it and changing the muscle memory to shift into something new. If you learn, like, say you learn a song and you're used to playing it in C major and you shift it to like an octave above, whatever it is. You have to get it changed. I don't know, what even an octave to E minor. I don't know. I don't know if you can really do that. So if you're a musician, just bear with me here. Don't cringe at me and be like, Anna, you're a dumbass. I don't know if you can really do that. But say you did that, you'd have to shift like on a piano, you'd have to shift your fingers up and down and whatever. And you'd have to like think about it a little bit more. But then once you did, you'd be in a new space. So I just want you to like be gentle and be like, okay, it might take me some time. And so if I revert back to feeling bad about myself, I'm going to notice it quicker, first of all, and I'm going to shift it. But I'm not going to be angry with myself because I'm relearning, I'm learning something new, and I'm going to give myself time to learn it. Okay. So I really do believe that we do manifest physical illness. I wish I could explain why, and I don't. And again, I think that there's a place for Western medicine and for this spiritual stuff to come together and work together. Okie doke. Okay, so I don't really do healing sessions. I mean, I can work with you and show you, but you can purchase a reading. You just go onto my website and my spiritual friend on Instagram is linked in the description, and you can add me. You don't have to, I don't that one's just open for the public. I have a private one, but I don't accept anybody if I don't know 'em for that one because that's got my kids on it. Um, Okie doke. I'd be happy to do a reading for you. Um, I just think just be gentle with yourself, be kind with yourself through this process. So I'm gonna go though now because it's 8:17 here. um, but I hope thank you for joining. And I do really wish you like I don't like to say love and light because I feel like it's super cheesy and overused, but I'm sending you healing energy and come join me again. Find me on Instagram. All of my connections are below. If you want a private reading, we can look at your health stuff too. All right, y'all have a good night. I'll see you Sunday for my live readings. Bye, Emily. Bye, Allie. Parking spots are the best. I always manifest parking spots when I go in the city. Always. All right. Have a good one. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye.